Good morning, it's Peter on Doxie here. It is Sunday the 11th of May, so happy Mother's Day to all those great mothers out there, and yeah, a great day to celebrate and give back to those who've given so much. Anyway, I am here at Newcastle on the river, and I think I won't be going anywhere today. The wind's not great. A little bit on the nose for most of the latter part of the day, so I don't feel like doing that. It's been hosing down. As I've said before, that's not going to stop me sailing necessarily, but it's not very pleasant either. Swells up too, so light winds. I could just see a day of slapping rigging, which I'm not really up for, so I'm going to sit here at Newcastle for a while. Continuing to stow things away because I've still got stuff all over the place. I figured it's a lot easier to put things away when you're living in the place rather than try and predetermine where things go and then find out, yeah, it could have been better somewhere else. Anyway, I'm just pattering away here. Yeah, waiting for my first coffee to cool down. So therefore the croaky voice, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. I know some people were concerned. But that's my pre-coffee voice. So yeah, anyway, that will change. So yeah, I'm probably about, and I'll do actually it stopped raining, so I might actually do a little pan around just to show you the surroundings here. There is a break in the clouds. I kind of need a bit of sun on the solar panels right now, which would be nice. But anyway, we can survive, and let's take a look around. Okay, so that's looking back down the river to Newcastle. You can see in the distance there two of the tugs going back down the river. Where are they now? Where are you now? There you are. Yeah, they've just taken a bulk carrier up to its dock. They just went past before. It's a bit in the distance, so you can't see them that well. There's one down there against the quay. So yeah. Stockton here on the east side of me. So it's funny, you sort of hear them, you can hear traffic going past. Not a lot, thankfully, but just enough to let you know it's there. There's a wreck there, an old steel ship of some sort, with markers all around it and pelicans all over it. And a dinghy storage place there, obviously, for the boats who are moored here. That's Stockton Bridge. I think I mentioned that yesterday, coming into Newcastle. So that is basically how you would get to Stockton over here. Oh, here comes the rain again. And go across that and around, and I'm going to pan really quickly, sorry, to get back to Newcastle over there. So it's quite a way around. Yeah, lovely scenery over here. It's just nature's best. But this is a boat I remember last year really admiring. It's a very pretty boat. So yeah, still here. And I think I need to get undercover. Yes, as I was saying, I'm undercover now. And Stuart, I'll take my coffee on the promenade, thank you. Beautiful. Got to get that into me. Rainy days are never wasted. So now is the time basically for me to find homes for a lot of the stuff I just had lying around, waiting for such a time where I had time on my hands to finally stow things away where I need them. So yeah, got stuff strewn all over the place, but that's boating. Yeah, so got a bunch of bedding here, squabs underneath there for the cockpit. The squab on top there enables this saloon table to drop down and be used as a double bed. So under there somewhere. So yes, I have a little bit of work cut out for me today, but it'll be very satisfying to get a little bit closer to organized. So just starting to fit in. Yeah, new boat. and obviously I've been living in the house for the last 6 months, so just getting back into the sway of living on board, which is great. But yeah, different boat, so different way of storing things. There's good storage on Doxie, so I've just got to make sort of the best, take advantage of it. That's what I was trying to say in a roundabout way, and that is after coffee 1. So there'll be another coffee, don't worry. So yes, things to do. It's still pouring outside. No sun seen yet. I'm sure it still exists somewhere in the universe, but not here. Anyway, I am going to get into this stuff. Right, getting into it a bit now. Yeah, the space under the chart table is always my personal favourite. It's everything ends up here, except for the thing that you're looking for, which so far is the truth. Anyway, I know what's in here now, more or less. Oh, look, I even picked up a souvenir yesterday from Redhead. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I'll just trying to find a tiny little adapter for the charge cable for my iPad. Yeah, damn Apple and their ridiculous charge cables. Anyway, it is what it is. I will keep looking. Don't look now, but traces of sunlight. Woohoo! Okay, that's what it feels like. Yeah, oh well, that's great. Does mean that my electricity is pumping in. So charging everything up now, devices, all that kind of stuff. Might as well do it while the getting's good. Well, I've managed to get quite a bit into this aft locker in the saloon. First aid kits in there, 2 of them, and bags. So I've got an app called Yacht Watch, which I'm using to document where everything is, because 5 will get to 10, I'll be looking for it and I'll have no clue where it was. And just discovering things still. Yeah, a little hand spanner here. Oh yeah. So and various other large tools, spanners, screwdrivers, specific Volvo Penta sliding spanner for something. I never saw it mentioned in the manual, but I'm sure it has its purpose and I'll find out what it is. Well, hopefully I won't find out what it is. Anyway, making progress, I feel. Getting there. Yeah, this side's all done pretty much. Still got all this open at the moment. As you can see, that raises up. Some small areas down there, but it's just amazing how many storage bins there actually are. So yeah, looking at what it was before, floors are clear. Oh, that's a laundry bag, by the way. Yeah, oh, better put my crisps somewhere as well. So this area is pretty well okay. Yep. Yeah, I've still got some clothes lying around, but just want to make sure they're totally dry before I put them away. So yeah, I think we're making progress. Therefore, it is lunchtime. So I'll have some cheese on my rice crackers. There's salt and vinegar taste, flavour, whatever, however you say that. And is it still raining? Hell yeah. Oh, that looks like a great idea. Let's go for a harbour cruise. Yeah, half the time you can't see either side of the river, but anyway, I guess it's warm and hopefully they're serving something. Yeah, it's still raining, by the way. Still raining. What a surprise. Where's Newcastle? Nowhere. It's very damp. Having quite a productive day here today. So, as I've shown, I have cleaned up the boat significantly inside. Feel like things are away and not underfoot anymore, and it actually looks like a living space now than me sharing a space with some container cargo or something. Anyway, next thing, I've been asked a couple of things. One of those is, where am I actually going? Which is a good question, because there seems to be some confusion about that. Some people think I'm going to Brisbane. I am, but that's not the final destination. So I guess the Whitsundays in Queensland is my main destination. Where I go before, after, or during that, who knows? It's literally make it up as I go along. So long as I go north where it's warm and beautiful and sunny would be nice. That's all I ask. So next, I've just tried to animate my proposed journey. A bit of poetic license there. If it goes overland, I can't help that. I'm not going overland, I can assure you. Well, not by plane anyway. Okay, so maybe let's take a look at that first, and then maybe we'll have a look at just planning a passage. Okay, so here goes nothing. Okay, so the east coast of Australia, and here's little Doxie leaving Newcastle, all these places, Port Macquarie, Coffs Harbour, Yamba, the Gold Coast, so that's when I finally get to Queensland, up through the Great Sandy Strait, Bundaberg, out to Lady Musgrave Island, and then through the islands on up to Mackay, and through to the Whitsundays. Who knows what's after that? Alright, we've seen Doxie powering up the east coast of Australia there, probably a little bit quicker than I sort of wanted it to, but I couldn't name all the places, but then again, they may change. So I have basically had occasion where I'm heading for somewhere and then find as I get closer to it, the conditions are not right, so I just keep on going. So yeah, you got to roll with the punches when you're sailing. It's just, that's part of the game. Okay, so the other question I was asked, how do I passage plan? So let's have a look at a tool I use, which is Navionics. Well, the app's actually called Boating, which is not very descriptive when you're trying to find it. But anyway, it's a Garmin product. Well, Garmin bought Navionics, should I say, probably a year or so ago. But it proves to be an effective tool. So I'll just give you a look at what it looks like. I'm not going to any great detail. We'll be here all night and you'll be asleep by the end of it. And so will I, probably. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, let's dive in and have a look. Right, so here's your basic Navionics screen here. You can see the light areas that I've got on the map are actually maps I've saved for offline use. So to create a route, I simply click on routes and choose the automatic, click on where I am, and then I go across to where I'm going to, which in this case is Lemon Tree Passage at Port Stephens. I hold my finger down on that, and essentially it throws in a route which is based on conditions I've put in there about my boat, like draft and that kind of thing, so it doesn't take me over water which is shallower than my draft would allow for. I then zoom in on it because never leave anything to chance. I want to look what's along the route, like, you know, what is this thing here? Okay, I better be mindful of that, whatever it is. And just checking depths and everything else along the way too that I need to be aware of. The sea is pretty clear along there. There's no reefs or anything that I should be concerned about, but that's essentially what I'm checking for. Any obstacles that I need to go around. Now here I'll zoom down in on this just to make sure that there's no outlying rocks and stuff, because you obviously never trust anything that's automatic. It's just there to give you suggestions, and then you can move it around at will. Basically, it's like, I'm not comfortable with going that close, I'm going to take myself further out around that, and that kind of thing. So coming into the entrance of Port Stephens, coming down the bay, it's taking me through all the channels and stuff, once again allowing for the draft on my boat. And here I am at Lemon Tree Passage. I'm just concerned that it's telling me that it's going to take me 9 hours, but anyway, I'm sure that is not the case, and I will look at that more closely. I now have a good idea of where I will be going and which direction I'll be steering to make my way to Port Stephens. I can actually follow that track along as I'm going in the boat, almost like you know, doing the navigation in a car. just without the corners and stuff, other than getting in and out of harbours and going around rocks. Next step is to work out the weather. Because now we know which direction we're steering, we need to know if the wind that's coming up in the next day or whenever we plan to do it is going to be appropriate for that track. If it's dead in the face, I'm staying here. I could tack up against it all day, but gee, that sounds like a lot of fun. Not. So yeah, I'll be looking at that. I'll be looking at the strength of the wind. I'll be looking at the size of the swell, okay, so you know what sort of seas to expect. So all of those things are critical to, well, for safety, and also ensuring that you're going to get there in a timely fashion and safely. So let's have a look at the app I use. I use mainly windy.app, app, which is a great app, for want of a better word. I find it's been pretty useful, and on the whole it's pretty accurate, as accurate any forecasts are these days, because our weather seems to be changing significantly from what's been historically normal. So let's have a look at windy.app. When you open the app, you get a situation map basically showing you what's going on in the big picture, and then you can choose one of your saved or add a new location spot. Obviously it's very critical to get the location right. So here I'm looking at Newcastle. The app uses various models, and then it chooses, well, you can choose a best model which has been historically more correct over the last however. Down on the table there you can see the winds. So below the times of each day, there's Monday. The first line of wind basically in the blue is the actual wind. The next bar is, or line, is gusts, so it could be such and such. Wind 4.4 knots, maybe gusting up to 8.8. Down the bottom you can see the swells, so here it is 1.3, and the time factor as well. Sorry to have to put those two examples in portrait mode, that's just the way it works. But just to give you a basic idea, when I was talking about swells, I probably didn't make it very clear the time factor. So for example, if I've got a 1.9 meter swell, that's reasonable. The distance apart from those swells is very important too. And that's given in seconds. So for example, if I've got a 2 meter swell with 5 seconds between peaks, that's going to be steep, and you can pretty well guarantee that some of it's going to be breaking if you're not, if you're unlucky. So the lower the swell and the bigger the time factor, then the smoother the sea will be basically. So that same swell, 2 meters, if it had a 9-second interval, then that would be much more comfortable, say, than that 5-second one, and safer too, obviously. Nobody wants to have waves breaking over them, it's not much fun. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's really what I do. There's probably a little bit more to it, because I do check on other apps for weather as well, and basically just cross-reference those things, because I mean, they are weather models. It's not a guarantee that it's correct, so you sort of try and get an average over a few of them to get an idea of, okay, this is basically what I can expect. If they all agree and line up, hey, happy days, then there's no guesswork involved. Otherwise, poke your nose out of the harbour carefully and have a look around. Anyway, I appreciate you all for following me on this. I appreciate the wonderful comments I'm getting. I hope I have been answering your questions. Keep them coming. I'm just sitting here on a rainy day on a boat, so hey, what else am I going to do other than enjoy myself? But yes, thank you for following, and this is Dawn Raider out. Thanks for watching another Adventures of Foxy Doxie. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you.